So we are going to modify this a little bit. We are going to be putting in some text from Marilyn Monroe. So in our article, in between our opening and closing article, the first one, we're going to highlight the text that's there because we are going to be saving that. And then what we're going to be doing is entering some text. And when you're entering text, we have to enter a pre-tag. So what a pre-tag does is it will keep all of your spacing that you enter. Normally, it does not do that. It does not keep spacing because if you remember when we were looking at the aside, it did not keep quote from Article 1 and quote from Article 2 on separate lines. Here, we'll pull that up so you can see that again. Okay, so normally, if you want things on separate lines or if you want additional spaces, you have to put elements or codes in for that. If you use the pre-tag, it stands for pre-formatted, it will keep your spacing and it will keep your line breaks. So I'm going to put a line break in here and it should keep it because I said this section is pre-formatted. Okay, so that's our first little section inside pre. Now, so you can see the difference between pre-formatted and regular paragraphs. We're going to change this second section of text and we're going to stick it inside a paragraph. Okay, so I put in an opening P. And so it's basically the same exact thing. And just because I don't like to type, I'm going to copy this. So I'm highlighting it, Control C. Right after the opening P here, I'm going to do Control and V as in Victor. And I'm going to put a closing P after Marilyn Monroe. Now, I'm going to save this and show you that I did not insert any codes at the end of the lines here. And so it is not going to put line breaks in. It's just going to do all the way across. In our first little one with the pre-tag, I will see line breaks because it's pre-formatted. So let me reload this. So here's my pre-formatted text. And you can see it kept my line breaks just as I typed them in. Here's my second article. And you can see, yeah, it's a paragraph. There are no line breaks there. Okay, because by default, this is how the web browser displays it. So if you want line breaks in, you have to code them. And the code is BR for break. And we're going to put a break at the end of each sentence. So I'm going to highlight it, Control C to copy, Control V. And then for this next one, I'm just going to put it at the end of the sentence. Okay, and now that I've done that, I'm going to save my changes. And we'll take another look here. And so now I get those breaks in. Now there is another thing that we need to add here. And that is down here in our footer. So for the copyright, they want this to be small. So we're going to add some formatting here. This is a formatting tag. Most of our formatting is done in CSS. Okay. But there are some tags that you can use for formatting, and small is one of them. And we're going to use the address tag. You can see if you misspell a tag, it misspells the closing tag. Not super helpful, but that is what it does. So hopefully you're a pretty good typist. Okay, so I think I've got address, opening, and closing right in there. And so I'm going to go ahead, key in Toronto, Canada. Okay, and at this point, I am done with this page. So I'm going to save it. We'll take a look at the modified footer section. Okay, so you can see how address looks, and now copyright is smaller than it was before.